Hey YouTube, it's your girl One in a Million, and I'm here to talk about Love is Blind Season 6. I went lost in my head for a second. Love is Blind Season 6. And these episodes, these last couple episodes, I'm just going to talk about all the way up to episode 11. Episodes have been very, very interesting. If you don't know what Love is Blind is, it's basically a dating show, where you go into these rooms and you basically talk to the person on the other side of the wall. These rooms are called pods, and people tend not to want to talk about what they look like, or they can, I guess, but that's kind of defeats the point of the experiment, because even though most of the time on those shows the people are very attractive, I've known, at least in my opinion, I feel like the people are very attractive, but the premise of the show basically is you don't want to know what that person looks like. You want to just basically get to know them on an emotional level, fall in love with them on an emotional level, and then see if, when you see them, if that connection fits. So we were talking about Amy, I think her name is, and Johnny. They were a very solid couple. As soon as they started talking to each other, like as soon as it seemed like they started talking to each other, they connected. I don't think they even dated anyone else. They might have, I don't really remember. But as like they just clicked. He proposed to her. It seemed like almost like immediately, almost at the point where I forgot about that couple until like everyone got out the pods, and I was like, oh, what the heck? What, like, who are they? I forgot all about them. But there's really nothing much to say about them because they're a solid couple. The biggest issue they had, which I don't think is even a problem, is that, oh, she might get pregnant. That's the biggest issue they had. So, as you can see, they didn't really have issues like that. And her father ended up giving his blessing, because I remember she said in the show that she couldn't accept his proposal or go forward with it if her father did not give his blessing. And he ended up giving his blessing when they went wedding dress shopping later on in the episode. The mother was just so happy. You could tell it was tears of joy. She was crying a lot, and but you could tell it was also overwhelming. So it was like probably like overwhelming. I'm happy for my daughter, but you could tell it was a lot for her to kind of like digest what was happening for her. But it was a happy moment because she just, I don't know, you could just tell that they love each other. When they met the family, when Amy met Johnny's sisters, it was like such a beautiful moment, and I was like, oh, I love that for them. It was like she knew him, and it was like they just fit very well. And there's not very many times on this episode, on this show, where people just fit very well, and it's like, oh yeah, they were meant to be together. This was meant to happen. I think it only happened season 1, in my opinion, with Lauren and I can't remember the guy's name, but basically the interracial couple that got together. I think his name was Cameron, actually. Lauren and Cameron. Like, that was the only couple where I felt like, oh yeah, they belong together. They are meant to be together. Just this experience brought them together. They're compatible. They're attracted to each other. The only thing they really had was like, oh, this is an interracial couple, and you're not used to this. Well, she was. I don't think he really had a problem with it. But that's the only time I've ever seen such a solid couple. They are beautiful together, and you can tell they're I don't think they're gonna have any issues. I think that I'd be surprised if they'd have issues later on in the season, but I don't think later on, like, if, like, let's say when it comes to saying I do's at the altar, I'd be surprised if she said no or he said no. I don't think so, because so far their interactions have been very, very positive. We're done talking about Amy and Johnny. Next couple I want to talk about is AD and Clay. Let's talk about AD and Clay. AD and Clay, I don't know why, I just feel like they're a very superficial couple. And what I mean by superficial is that he is so infatuated by him because he's an attractive man and he's got himself. He got a lot of things going for himself. He is an entrepreneur. He bought a house. He has, from my understanding, he hasn't talked about it. He has no kids. He doesn't have any kids. The only thing this man really is going through is just like being in his head too much. And to AD, that's, well, great for her. You like, this man is fine, doesn't need anything from me, and likes me. That's great for her. She probably is like, oh yeah, this is ecstatic, you know what I mean? And I think how he looks at AD, in my opinion, is that he probably sees her and is like, she has a banging body. I am so attracted to her. She has her own, she's doing her own thing. She's a boss, right? She communicates well with me. But to me, it doesn't seem like it's in a deep level. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe because we're only seeing snippets. But I'm not feeling like Johnny and Amy look at each other, or I'll even say Jimmy and Chelsea, where they have these really sincere heart-to-heart moments. And even when you see them going what they're going through, they don't want to leave each other. I'm not saying Clay wants to leave AD or AD wants to leave Clay, but when they were talking, when they were, I think, in the Dominican Republic, and she was just like, I'm excited about showing you off, and AD was telling Clay, I'm excited about showing you off around town. It's like, that was a very superficial comment, in my opinion. It's like, what do you mean showing him off around town? Like, are you just excited to say you got a fine man? Is that it? Which, I don't know if that would be a big deal to AD, because it's not like she's an ugly woman. She's a very beautiful woman, has a very nice looking body. And so she's probably dated men who are upper echelon anyways. So I don't understand why she'd be so like, oh, this is my feet. Maybe it's just because she's never had a fiance, so she's excited to say she has a fiance. Maybe that's it. But I just felt like that was a very superficial comment to make. Like, girl, what you mean you were excited to show him off? Shouldn't he be saying that to you, basically? Like, he's excited to show you off? It gives to me, in my opinion, that AD likes him a lot more than he likes her. To me. Of course, he's physically attracted to her. She's gorgeous, and she has a great body. But that doesn't keep a man if he doesn't want that. And I'm not saying Clay doesn't want that with her. I think that it's too much for him to think about getting married right now. And even though he purposely got on this show, I think that a man can't take rejection, so he kind of like had to get involved with her. Not had to, but like he had to see it through. You know, he's been talking to her. She almost got away with with Matthew. Like, then that probably bothered, that, as you can see, that bothered his ego. He has to get her. Now he has to beat Matt in this game for him, AD's heart, right? Matt bowed out, went to go get Amber, and now he's like, okay, I want her, but I want AD, but wait a minute, I don't know if I really wanted to get married or like have a whole life with you. I don't know if I was ready for that. That's probably what he's thinking, right? Like, I don't know if I was 100% ready for this. I wanted it, and now that it's here, it's like, whoa, now it's too much, right? And the only reason I say that is because I think it was episode 11, this last episode, where he was saying how, oh, why do we have to go on the date? Why do we have to get married on this date? And that let me know, like, oh, he's getting cold feet. He wants to push it back a little bit, you know, make her like a long-suffering girlfriend, basically, right? And she peeped it. AD peeped it. And I do think that if he were to, like, break her heart, she couldn't take it. Oh, I forgot when AD and Clay met, when Clay met AD's mother. I thought that was a beautiful moment. It made me feel sad because I think her mother knew that she loved him more than he loved her. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it becomes a bad thing when it's matters like this where he could possibly tell you no and now you're devastated. So I think that the relationship is very superficial. I don't think it has much depth to it. I feel like the relationship is just based on Clay is very attractive to AD and vice versa. AD is very attractive to Clay. And they look good together, right? But when it comes to, like, can we spend more time together? Can you make me feel heard and special? Why is it just Clay's feelings or how he feels? Why it's not like, how is this gonna affect us? Those are things I would be kind of concerned about, and I'd be a little bit worried about. Because those are big deals, you know, marrying somebody and I don't ever see you till the next day. I haven't seen you until, like, the afternoon and now it's the next day. Like, that's concerning to me. You didn't come home? Like, there should be no reason you don't come home. Unless you're out of town for work. But if you're in town and you just don't feel like driving an hour, to me, that would be very concerning to bring into a marriage. But I digress. We'll see on who says yes or no with them. I want to really discuss Brittany and Kenneth. I forgot all about them. I forgot all about that couple. That's so crazy to think about. I felt, I don't know if that man is, but I felt that man did not play for our team. I didn't feel like he did. In the pods, he gave off a very different energy, so I can understand why Brittany could be fooled if she was, because he gave off a completely different energy, like a more masculine vibe. It was like his voice was even deeper, and he was speaking in a more, like, stern or maybe direct way. But then after he got out the pods, at least for me, I noticed it was just like something off about him. Like, I remember feeling like that. Like, I remember telling my husband, like, I don't know, baby, there's something off about him. But at first, before, I thought they were so cute together, and I thought, oh yes, like, of course he's attracted to her, she's attracted to him. They're both attractive people. Oh man, was I wrong? Like, oh man, was I wrong? I only started feeling that way again once he left the pods. I started feeling like there's something off about him once he left the pods. But before, when he was in the pods, I was like, oh, they're perfect together. They're gonna be good. Yes, yes, yes. Kenneth did a complete 180. A complete 180. He went from being understanding, patient, like a listener, you know, considerate, and then it just like flipped. It was like he didn't want to be around her. It was like he just didn't really want to touch her. And some people were saying, oh, was it because the conversation AD and him had? I think that's editing now that I think about it. Now that I think about it, I think that's like editing for it to just look like, oh yeah, after this conversation he had with AD, now he doesn't know about Brittany anymore, right? Because now it's a race thing, right? I call bull. I call straight bull. No, I don't think that man was ever really into her like that. I think that man got on the show for the clout of it all. His energy changed with Brittany. And it wasn't because it was a conversation he had with AD. It was because She is a woman, and I don't think he like women like that. That's just in my opinion, y'all. Okay, so don't beat me up about it in the comment section. Okay, but in my opinion, I think that man likes men. And if he doesn't just like men, I think he may be bisexual, pansexual, whatever you like, man. Who am I to judge? Who cares? Love who you love. But I do feel like he liked other things besides just women. Besides women. Right? And so that's where that disconnect happened, because it's great to have connection with somebody when you don't have to physically touch them. So now that he's in front of her, yeah, he don't really want to be around you, touch you like that, sis. He not attracted to you, you not his type. And she's a beautiful woman with a great body, and he ain't touching on her. That tells you something. So I'm just gonna leave that where it is. Him being on the phone, he's 25, I think, like 25. Only like he's like 5 years younger than me. This is the age of social media, and maybe he was doing emails, or maybe he was texting a friend. You know, when he broke up with her, he was talking to a friend and saying he was going to the friend's house. So I don't know. He did seem very cold, but it's not that surprising for him to be cold to her, at least to me, because he wasn't into her like that. He played a good part, though, and that's where you get hurt, when people play a good part and like they don't really mean it. So Lauren and Jeremy with Sarah Ann, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't know, maybe I don't really think I'm good at judging this stuff when it comes to the couple sometimes, because I thought they were good with each other. I thought they made a cute couple. But when they had that whole entire interaction with the couples, like everybody hung out, I felt like how he handled that and how they handled each other in public was kind of like, that's telling. You're not even considerate of how you made them feel in public. That's a problem. That's kind of a red flag for me. Like, how she talked to him was kind of like, get over it. It was a joke. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, you kind of just did tell this man to sexually assault a woman that you call yourself being friends with. I think that Jeremy shouldn't have brought it up, and people might disagree with me, but I feel like, why the fuck would you bring that up? If she said it to you in a joke, in pillow talk, why would you bring that up in front of everybody? But then again, in his defense, he didn't really know what it meant. So but he probably felt pretty embarrassed, and that's why he acted that way and left. But I also kind of felt like it's very childish of you to just go home and not talk to your fiance. Like, that's pretty childish. Like, why not speak to her and let her know how you feel? But whatever, what the fuck do I know, right? So fast forward from that, he ends up cheating on her. I'm gonna say he cheated, because ain't nothing open besides legs at 3 in the morning up until 5 in the morning. Okay, ain't nothing open except some legs. I don't care what no one say. They was not just talking. She was something. She was something, because how the fuck you talking till 5 o'clock in the morning and he didn't choose you? I think that is the most part that everybody gives Sarah Ann such a hard time about. Not that she spent the block. My biggest thing with Sarah Ann, in my opinion, is it's giving desperate, sis. That's what it is. It gives desperate. Because why would you spend the block on a man who didn't choose you? And you were like really shocked about it. You had no type of, you thought you was gonna make it. You could see it in her face. She was genuinely surprised, right? And then you say you didn't fight hard enough then. And it's just like, I guess how I feel is it'd be one thing if, no, I can't even, no, he didn't choose her. And that's the part that's just like, since he told you he was going with another woman over you, period. Like, I get that you think that, oh, I had to take a chance on love, and I'm not sorry. You don't have to be sorry, but just know that we all know you willing to be a second choice now. Like, period. Like, we all know you're willing to be a second choice. You're willing to say, you're basically willing to be the cleanup woman. Like, and if that's you, do you, sis. But if you see him with another woman, you gonna feel some type of way. He know now he can always go back to you because he can choose another woman over you any day, and you gonna come right back. So it was really sad to see Laura go through that. To see Laura like have to see the guy she hasn't spoke to in like 4 days. That was once your fiance, mind you, and now this man is out there riding skis. Skis. I can't think of the word right now, but going out frolicking out on the sea with the woman that he cheated on you with. God, this is what I'm gonna say. I love that she kept her composure and did not cry in front of them. Of course, she was emotional, so she did cry like later, away from everyone. That's completely understandable. But I really loved for her that she didn't give them the satisfaction of even like getting upset. She handled it very well. Take notes, ladies. And if I was younger, well, no, now actually too, take note. I'm taking notes on how to handle a really tough situation to be in gracefully, like a lady. And I felt like she handled that very, very well. So I wanted to talk about Chelsea and Jimmy because they are like the couple, the most interesting couple to me, honestly. They have been probably the most controversial couple this season, and I think it's because how everything started. We all know that Chelsea said that people say that she looks like Megan Fox. She did not say that I think I look like me. Ow. Calm down, again. She did not say I think I look like Megan Fox. She clearly stated and said that people think that she looks like Megan Fox. That's what they said. So, but she also said, I don't think so. I think it's only because I have brown hair and light eyes, right? And she looks nothing like Megan Fox. I do think now that some time has passed after watching it, I definitely do think she said that to get some type of one-up on Jessica, knowing that she was kind of competing against her for Jimmy's affection and love because she wanted to have an upper hand over Jessica, even though Jessica's the one who most likely looks like Megan Fox. You know what I mean? So but anyways, so when he got out the pod, I think he was a tad bit disappointed, and that sucks. And it's not to say that Chelsea isn't a beautiful woman. She is beautiful. She is. She's a very pretty woman. And, so. But if I tell you you've never seen me, and let's just say I'm talking to you over the phone, and I say I look like, I'm trying to think of somebody I look nothing like. And I say I look like Jennifer Lopez, right? Once you see me, you're going to be disappointed because I look nothing like Jennifer Lopez. Not to say that I'm not attractive in my own right, and I'm not a pretty woman in my own right, but I don't look like Jennifer Lopez. So that was a very terrible comparison she gave. I don't know what celebrity looked like I would say she looked like, but I wouldn't be saying it's Megan Fox. But Chelsea ended up really having some really insecure moments, and I hated that for her. That she had to have that on camera. She one time I got an argument with him, but I feel like she instigated a lot of arguments and just was just very whiny and wanted him to just take her shit. And you could tell that man loved her. That man loves her. You can tell that man loves her because he didn't want to leave her. And I was thinking about something, and this is why I say attraction can only go so far. Because he had a moment where he was talking to Jessica, and Jessica is gorgeous. Like, I meant it when I said that she is the one who probably should have been compared to Megan Fox. Even with seeing her in person, right? It didn't seem as if to me that he was willing to trying to go super forward with her. I do feel like him saying, "Oh, you're still my number one," was kind of like a, why would he say that? That was a moment where I was kind of like, why would you say that this woman is your number one when you pick Chelsea? Unless you only picked Chelsea because Jessica went off on you. Are you just saying it to be nice? That's another. Or do you? I feel like he meant it. It was moments like that are where it's really terrible for Chelsea. Is because why would you say that to her? And then it makes you feel like Chelsea has every right to be so insecure, even though it's very unattractive. She has every right, because the fuck you telling this girl that she's your number one? Like, but you picked Chelsea. I don't even know, but I thought at first that maybe he did still want to be with Chelsea after seeing Jessica. Or maybe it was kind of like, I made this pick now and I kind of got to stick with it. And I don't know. I don't really know. But now I'll say online he's taking mess about her, saying that she just got a good edit and that she was thirsty. And I'm like, guess. Now you calling Jessica the one that she said that once he see her, his throat would close and he would need his EpiPen to open his airways. Now he said Jessica was thirsty. I'm like, what happened between them that makes him all of a sudden want to talk about her like that? Right? Like, what happened? I want to know. Like, I need to start going be more nosy on the blogs, on Instagram and stuff, but I don't be giving a fuck. So, what else? Chelsea is really not that bad, but she's just whiny. And Jimmy, when he's fed up, he says some stuff I feel like is kind of mean, but I guess you can't blame him because you can only deal with somebody being a whiny baby for so long. So thank you for being on this journey with me. If you're still here, thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with me and giving a fuck what I have to say. I appreciate it.